And
What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We're here for a special lunch lean. I have Antonio, Chad, Danny, and Chase, who was able to get away from work, including myself, to talk about this new and trending thing that's going on right now on social media. Antonio, what has happened in the last 30 minutes? Can you let us know what has happened for those who are watching right now?
That lady, y'all know who we're talking about. Apparently, she's been terminated. Her services were no longer needed. Per a statement that was released from her bosses over at Bravo. So the lady is gone.
The
Ding
lady.
dong.
You better be professional.
And the reason why we've been saying the lady, because if you watched the review last night, we didn't really say her name. We said she was referred as a lady. This is the official statement released by Bravo, posted on the Lean IG page. Bravo has ceased filming with Jennie. It's Nguyen. Somebody corrected me wrong last week. It's actually Nguyen. And she will no longer be a cast member of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I actually stopped reading there, so let me read the rest of it. I didn't even read the rest of it earlier. But we recognize we failed to take appropriate action once her offensive social media posts were brought to our attention. Moving forward, we will work to improve our processes to ensure we make better informed and more thoughtful casting decisions. That's a lot. I mean, it's been a long week, almost a week since this stuff surfaced. And so we're here to talk about more. So I came with some questions and a discussion about a few things that I'm seeing since the statement. But Antonio and I was here, but I kind of wanted to hear Chad, Danny, and Chase first, since we kind of talked about last week, Antonio. But before we get started, don't forget if you're watching right now, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, don't forget to hit that thumbs up to like the video and support the channel. Keep us in the algorithm. And subscribe if you have not already. What's up to everybody in the chat? I see LJ Montgomery, TKC was already here, Ronald's Gag, Taylor. What's going on? Chad, what are your thoughts?
So I'm actually happy that they took some appropriate action. Y'all know that I like Jennie. I never disliked Jennie. I was always like indifferent with her. So I'm kind of happy that they are setting a precedent to, I guess, future housewives and, future behavior at Bravo. I think that it's a good thing that they stepped in, although late, that they stepped in and said, you know what, we're not going to tolerate this. And that's what happens. Could y'all hear me?
It was a little low budget, but I think we got the gist of it.
Lord,
we got you,
was I
friend.
low
We
budget?
we heard it.
I'm in the
It
gym.
slowed down a
Turn this
bit.
Wi-Fi off. Hold on.
Jenny, why he getting himself together?
I'm in the gym.
You got it? You got it, Chad?
Yes.
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm in the gym, so I was connected to their Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So I agree with Chad in the sense that I'm glad there is a precedent being set now. However, I don't think Bravo truly cares. I truly believe that Bravo saw their ratings dip from the last episode, how they went down. And, and I believe they got whatever footage they needed of her them addressing with her on camera, and now they no longer need her. I don't think they really care the way they do.
Chase?
Yeah, I kind of agree. No, actually, no. This is Barbara Walters, darling. This is the afternoon, so all of that fussing and fussing and fussing will be reserved for later on this evening. However, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to say, you like my voice? I just wanted to say that the one thing in the statement that I did appreciate was some semblance of accountability from Bravo by acknowledging that they responded to this much too late, even though they may not care. Listen, that's all I really cared about was, were they going to respond? When were they going to respond? And why is it taking so long for the response? So we got one. I got what I wanted. I never liked her. So I was happy. I'm happy. I never liked her. So bye, girl. Toodles.
Okay, so the first question I want to ask everybody is, do you think she should have been fired? I want to go circle back to that question. Antonio, I know your answer. Not to not let you answer, but we spoke on this. So I want to see, Chad, do you think she should have been fired?
I'm in the middle. If I'm being honest, I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I think that she should have been fired based off of just based off the views being recent. Like this wasn't like an old thing. I think that it shows that she still has some type of she still has some of these feelings in her like right now. Like you don't just get over it overnight. So I think that she should have, but there's a part of me where I'm like, maybe we should have, you know, let her. I mean, because true enough, Jamie mentioned earlier, there are real racists in the world, and you know, at the end of the day, it's reality TV. So I think that I'm just in the middle with it. I agree.
Okay. Chase.
You know, for me, it was how hypocritical she's been throughout this. Listen, Mary was definitely wrong for the things that she said. We've had many discussions on intent and impact, but at the end of the day, what she said was wrong, okay? And there's no getting around that, right? However, for you to sit there and manipulate a situation when you know that you've made comments and have sentiments that are not exactly aligning with the views that you have purported that you have on television is just
Hmm.
for me why I think that she should be gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so because I don't think Jenny ever took full accountability, even with that apology she released. Because later on, there was a backtrack with the social media manager saying that the account was hacked and those things weren't real. So I don't think she ever took accountability. It's like she was backpedaling on the apology. So I think for that main reason, she should have been fired.
Okay. I see you join Jamie. Go ahead, Tonio, and then Jamie will come to you real quick.
Oh yeah, I mean, she definitely should be gone, and I agree with everything Danny just said. Like, you can't come out and take ownership of it, and then try and backtrack and go and say, "Oh well, I had a social media manager, and it was hacked, and that was all. That was just some bullshit." And even her statement that was released, she thought she was speaking out against violence when, as someone mentioned in our group chat, like, she didn't say anything about how it got to the point that it was in regards to those topics that she was speaking out against. So fuck her.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie,
You breaking people ribs. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ooh.
So I'm kind of with Chad. I'm on the fence, but I believe in
Big shocker.
consequences. Shut up. I believe in consequences. This is the bed that she has created for herself, but I fully believe that she needs to now lie in it. Why I'm on the fence is because we were talking in the group chat, and the whole point of reality TV is to have a group of people together with varying views and to have them stand in it and to showcase what ignorance looks like and when people push back on it. We've seen it on The Real World. We've seen it on Wife Swap. The whole point is to get the church lady and the atheist together, have them, have chaos, and then the audience gets to decide who's right, who's wrong, and it's a discussion. I think when we start firing people who have different viewpoints on life, we run the risk of possibly creating an echo chamber of a perfectly curated reality TV space based on what we want to see, which at that point, then we should just create and write shows where we can monitor what's being said and done, right? But the bottom line is Jenny's a piece of shit for what she posted. She obviously has racial biases. She obviously has prejudice. I think that part of the consequences of her speaking her mind is her being iced out by her cast members. It would be very difficult for her to film anything if nobody wants the backlash that's going to come with being around her. So what other choice do you have but to let someone go?
But so Jamie, I would ask you, do you think people should get a paycheck for having those views?
People get a paycheck for having all kinds of views. Bravo is a private.
I know, but I'm talking about that view.
So me personally, no, I don't, because I don't agree with anything that she said. And Bravo is a private company. Bravo can create whatever environment they want to create. The fact of the matter is the companies you and I work for have people who have those exact same views. A lot of them shared those exact same posts. Some of our family members did that as well and have those views. So, I mean, I think the question is, like, what standard are we holding people to? We all have a right to say we don't like what they said and this is what we want. Bravo fired her, and Bravo didn't fire her out of some moral high ground. They fired her out of a bottom line, and they're losing money. That's ultimately what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do want to say, I think it's just kind of like when like if you're at work, like when you're at work and remember being at work after the Trump election. You know what I'm saying? It was a quiet day, and everybody really, because when he was elected, I will say when I went to work, it was weird. I didn't know who to look at, who to trust. It just felt like a weird environment. And so I feel like when you're at work, you're not really speaking about politics and things like that. And so I don't think it's anything wrong with personally. If she wants to feel that way, she can. But I think once it surfaced, it came to the light. That's when it became an issue, and that's when it's like at this point you're giving this woman, like I think Chad and Jamie, you said in the chat, they look at these women as celebrities, Bravo celebrities or whatever. And so when you're on this platform, you're not only just on this show, you can be, she can go to Dancing with the Stars, which broadens her platform. There's so many things she can do that I feel like by taking her off the show, it limits that. And that's why I thought she should have been fired, just because it's like, if you were one of the ones that were marching in the street 2 years ago for George Floyd and stuff like that, she spoke against all of that. So personally, if you took a picture marching and you feel like Jennie should have been fired, take that picture down, because you are not making sense, because you spoke against all that. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean,
she definitely shouldn't be rewarded for being racist
at all.
This is reality. You and I and all of us on this panel, everybody in the comments, have somebody that we work with, are around in our family that thinks like this.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, these conversations aren't going to go away because that lady is not on the TV screen. If anything, I would have liked for her to come back and face the fallout. I would have liked to see her iced out. Nothing would have made me happier than to see those women systematically avoid her at all costs, see her crying in her house to her husband that she broke his ribs about how she's being treated unfairly. Like, there are consequences to your actions. And yes, and I mean, I've said this on multiple shows before. I would prefer my racism out in the open because I know where you're at. I would prefer my prejudice out in the open. I would prefer my bigotry out in the open because I know how to respond to you that way. There are many people that lean left and liberal that smile in our faces and go and vote behind our best interests. And we still invite them to our parties, and we still invite them to our dinner table.
Let me ask y'all this question. I saw a comment from Brooke. It's actually a good point about the question. She said, although I'm fine with her being gone, I do think it's interesting that people wanted to teach Mary about racism, but not Jennie. Do you think that it's something that could have been taught, or like, what are your thoughts on that whole, mindset? Because I've seen things like that as well. Who wants to go? Who want to go first? Go ahead, Chad.
When you say, so I'm kind of lost at wanting to teach Mary about her racism, but not Jennie. I'm kind of lost.
Well, I guess because they felt like, I guess the grace of, well, Mary's just ignorant, and maybe she can learn from it, versus not really giving Jennie the chance and just firing her. I'm assuming that's what she's getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, Mary didn't say anything like actually racist, though. She said something that is, a lot of times with minorities, we say certain things or have a certain type of talking code with other minorities, and it may not be the right thing to say, but it's also not done intentionally to be nasty or vile. With Mary's comment, I mean, of course, we've all said that the slanted eye comment is definitely not good or not.
We losing you a little bit, Chad.
Like, Asian people do not like to be referenced as slanted eyes and stuff. What about now? Hold on. I'm being low budget.
Okay, better now.
Low budget. Low budget.
Lord, I don't know.
Baby,
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, let's find you some Wi-Fi.
Y'all are stressing my friend Chad out. Let her speak.
Did I say something negative about Mary? She putting the hex on me, child.
Yeah.
Jesus after that.
Look at Sammy in the comments.
So can you hear me clearer now?
That's better.
Okay. So I'm saying that Mary didn't really say anything that was, actually racist or vile towards Asian people. She gave a compliment that she didn't know was insensitive to Asian people. So I felt like Mary didn't really need a teaching moment as far as about racism. She needed a teaching moment about ignorance towards other minorities and what to say and what not to say. It's different.
Especially when Mary apologized to Jennie in a moment, and said she wouldn't go down that road again, and Jennie accepted her apology. They started beefing some more because Whitney, stirred things up after that. But
not Whitney catching a stray.
And she's next. We got to get her up out of that too.
I mean, I agree with Chad. They're two differences. Mary was dead wrong. I've said on this show, Mary was wrong. Mary needs to think before she opens her mouth and says it. She's had not one, not two, not three, 4 or 5 instances where stuff flies out of her mouth that is racially insensitive. That happens with all of us. So there's definitely an opportunity for teaching, like Chad said, about ignorance. I would say that with that lady's post, there's a chance to teach, but it's less about ignorance. It's more about you literally are willfully blind to how a certain racial demographic is being treated in this country. Your opinions are, if you just follow the rules, they're not going to shoot you, or you don't have the constitutional right to protest how you're being treated. So these are viewpoints that she's had her entire life. Mary's comments, while stupid and insensitive, can probably be fixed. Although I don't know, she was on that Facebook or that space last week and imitated that lady's voice again. So I don't know. I don't know how easy she wants to be taught.
She caught herself.
But I think
she was taught. She is learning.
I think ultimately, it comes down to all of us have to understand that we all have these biases in us. That's conditioning from how we grew up. And we've all on this panel sat and have to catch ourselves from letting stuff fly out of our mouth. And sometimes it's hard to admit, like, oh shit, I have some shit in me that I haven't really addressed, and I need to be better. Mary's dead ass wrong. She doesn't deserve to be fired. She doesn't deserve to be canceled. Let's see how she continues to speak. But Jennie, there are consequences, very, very severe consequences, and unfortunately now you jobless again.
Yeah. People actually think Mary should be. I mean, we don't know. Mary's allegedly quit. I don't know what's going on with her, but someone like on my Facebook post currently, people's like, "Well, what about Mary? They need to get married next." And I'm just like,
well, yeah,
I don't think it's the same. I just don't think what Mary did and Jennie did was the same.
I've been seeing that too.
Yeah,
I don't think Mary's not speaking out against people's rights.
You said Mary? Yeah, she hasn't said anything.
Mary's not speaking out against Asian rights or Asians being murdered
at all.
Yeah,
there was a wild witch hunt for Mary to be fired for at least 3 weeks over those.
My thing is, myself to cut out Trace real quick. I feel like Mary being fired is the equivalent of going ahead and get rid of Ramona because you know what I'm saying, Ramona and the others who have showcased that on the show. Because I feel like and Ramona's still here, still employed for all we know, still doing Ultimate Girls Trip. So yeah, my bad. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. I was just saying, for me, one of the things that I was not understanding was why was that energy so hot for Mary, and it was not that hot for that lady. You get what I'm saying?
Well, and the energy, if you remember last year, the energy was the same whenever she had that comment at the reunion about not liking to go in stores when Black people were outside it. Twitter was all abuzz about how dare Mary say that she's anti-Black and she needs to be fired.
I didn't have an issue with that then, and I still
have. And we laughed about it. We talked about it on the reunion.
I got what she was trying to say, but again, it was pretty insensitive. But I get what she was trying to say.
The thing is, though, we've seen so many times when, and I hate to pull this card, but when Black people do anything slightly, just because people have been against us for so long, and anytime we do anything that is slightly offensive to anybody else, people run with it. Even Black people run with it and try to tear down the Black people completely, where it's like, oh yeah, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go. Mary has never said anything to where she needs to be fired. She said a lot of dumb stuff. She said a lot of stupid stuff, but I mean, it seems like when you're a Black person, they are going to jump on it. And we can even say this with Nene. I'm not a Nene fan in this point, but when the Nene stuff happened, people heightened it. And it's like Ramona has been employed for all these seasons with New York with all the stuff she said, and people are going to glance over it. It's just, it's ingrained in us.
I also think that a lot of
I'm sorry, go ahead, Danny.
I'm sorry, Chase. I also think a lot of people who don't like Mary never liked her from episode 1, knowing she was married to her her grandfather, and they looked for
Yes.
any reason. A lot of the people who are calling for her to be fired genuinely do not care what she said about Jenny, that lady.
They don't.
They just don't like Mary and always have never liked her.
Yeah. I think the big thing that I'm seeing, and this is just the only thing that I want to say more on that, it's the thing that's getting to me are the people that now that it's been unearthed that Jenny is actually a fucking bigot are saying, oh, well, this absolves Mary from everything, and I knew Jesus was on Mary's side. And it's like, no, Mary still was in the wrong. Let's be 100% honest.
Mary is God. Don't act like you don't know.
You better
And
watch
Jenny,
it.
You better watch it, Jamie. I don't want to have to lose you now. You better
look,
watch
my
it.
internet's gonna start acting up like Chad. And Jenny, in that moment, when she responded to Mary about that comment, was right. Mary was wrong and Jenny was right. We've got to be adult enough to comment and call out prejudice and racial bias whenever it happens, and one doesn't absolve the other. Two people can be shitty at the same time.
It doesn't absolve the other, but it's a whole lot harder for me to sit here and listen to this and then to see what happens fast forward 6 months later, and you're just being completely manipulative about the situation.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it absolves Mary from anything. And then also I'm seeing a lot of Black viewers saying, oh, well, I didn't take offense to what she said to Jenny. Well, it's not really your place to take offense or not take offense. You're not Asian. Plain and simple. I didn't take offense to what she said about the Mexican drug lord. Well, you're not Latino, so really it's not your place to take offense. The exact same way that it is, I can't tell any of you on this panel you shouldn't be upset about Jenny's post. I'm not Black. That's just really not my place to open my mouth and say you're right or wrong. But we've got to be able to have conversations and say, regardless of what it is, interchange races, sexuality, whatever. Wrong is wrong. Ignorance is ignorance. Bigotry is bigotry.
Now, let me ask this question. Moving that lady aside, correct? Someone already mentioned Nene, and then the treatment of Kenya Moore, wearing the Native American costume when they're still, and she's been scrubbed from her episode, when that episode is still up of Luann making those remarks and Carol having to correct her and Luann not caring, or Luann basically being Luann Ross in blackface, as Cortez likes to call her Luann Ross. Those episodes are still up. So they have not really been forced to issue statements. Bravo hasn't stepped in for the most part. Why do we feel it like, okay, sometimes I feel like, is the network, are they for us or against us? Like, does anybody have an opinion about that? Like, do you feel like it's a double standard at all? Or
absolutely,
yeah,
it's a double standard because it's also, like Chad said, a precedent has been set, but a precedent has also been set by taking action against the minority who spoke out when plenty of white housewives have done the same type of things.
I do.
Even with Dorit mocking Garcelle,
I kind of have an opinion about that.
Go ahead,
Chad.
Uh-oh. Well,
okay, Mary, let him live.
Chad, take me your opinion.
Mary, please, Mary, give us 10 more minutes.
I think this stuff that can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can now.
And let me. Well, while you get yourself together, let me say this real quick. I feel like the difference. I feel like basically the fans have a high impression on everything that Bravo does. I feel like Bravo has a lot of toxic fans, and a lot of them are racially biased too. The reason why I think this worked and they got Jenny fired because it was so blatantly like disrespectful to
your face.
You know what I'm saying? In your face. You know what I'm saying? The whole and so it doesn't take rocket science to read those memes that she posted to be like, okay, this lady clearly is targeting Black people. Versus Luann with her afro, some of them probably like, well, shit, I want to wear an afro too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the fans, it's just this time everybody came together versus being split. It's usually the Black people, just us, who are offended by certain things. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I do agree. Huh?
But I don't think everybody came together. There's people in the comments here saying that lady shouldn't be fired.
Yeah.
They
I
can
mean, they
leave.
came together to an extent to where they may. I feel like although they're saying that she maybe shouldn't have been fired, they're okay with it being fired. They still ain't saying, "Oh hell no, Bravo."
Well,
No.
I think what it comes down to is we expect that behavior from white folk because that is the behavior that white folk have been giving since the dawn of time. I think we
Yeah.
as minorities, black and brown and other non-black minorities, we, whether it's right or wrong, we hold each other to a higher standard than we do white folk because I think we each go through our different experiences, and it's like you should fucking know that this isn't acceptable. Like I expect that from them, but from you, I would like to hold you to,
Yeah.
being being a little bit better than that shit. And I mean, I saw in the comments Monique wore a Native American outfit, and there wasn't a peep about that. I think a lot of
There
that is
was
Kenya.
no
Kenya has
offense,
a.
Jamie. There was back in
I
season
didn't
2 of
see that.
Potomac. I'm just saying, back in season 2 of Potomac, when she showed up wearing the wrong outfit, social media was upset about it. They were.
Yes.
And they should be. They rightfully should be. I mean, we have those conversations. I think there's a double standard, and we've had conversations in our group chats about that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the only thing that is going to get it to change is if collectively black and brown viewers completely stop watching. But then the double-edged sword is, well, now we're not supporting black-led shows. We're not supporting minority-led shows like what is it, Family Karma, that they're pushing black and brown faces to the front. So like, where's the solution?
Danny, did you have anything you want to? I know you got to leave in a second because Danny
So-
got to go back to work.
No, my meeting was pushed back, so I can stay.
Oh, okay. We got Danny a little long. Go ahead, Chad.
I gotta leave in a little bit.
Can y'all hear me now?
You know, it's
Can y'all hear me
trying.
now?
It's,
No.
Barely.
it's trying.
I don't know what's,
Well, let him get
what's
it in.
going on.
Go ahead. We can
My-
hear you. It's not the
my
mouth
point
ain't
is
matching
good,
the
and I
words.
can't-
We can hear you.
Okay, so I was just gonna say that I think that if Salt Lake City came out in the early stages of Housewives, if they came out in the early stages of Housewives and this happened, it wouldn't have been an issue. And I think that that's one of the things that Bravo needs to be faulted on, is that they have not kept the same energy over the years. Because I think that now, with the height of Black Lives Matter and the height of what happened with George Floyd, and I mean, everybody has wanted a piece of the pie when it comes to trying to act like they stand for something. And Danny made the point earlier when he's company that is saying, I mean, you log on to Nordstrom.com and you got at the top of the thing, Black Lives Matter. We stand with Black Lives. It's like they're saying this stuff because it's performative. So at the end of the day, they're only doing it because of where we are in the times. I think had this came out years ago, she wouldn't have been fired.
Good point.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to say this is a good point from LJ Montgomery. Jamie, you said this too. That lady will be picked up. So everybody's saying that lady will be picked up by someone else. This will only make her stand out more. Won't be surprised.
Exactly.
What I said in the chat.
You said that in the
You
chat.
did say that.
Trump's
This is the-
secretary.
and I said in the
Fox
chat,
News. She gonna
I
do her own
said in the
Fox
chat, the
podcast
big
on
thing,
Fox.
the big thing that I hate about her being fired is now we're going to see fucking Tucker Carlson talking about how the left has taken down freedom of speech. Candace Owens is going to go on a fucking rant about this shit. They're going to make this woman out to be some sort of like freedom of speech,
Well,
like
they can hire
martyr
her. I don't
or
watch
something.
their news channel anyway, so
Okay.
Hire her.
I don't either. Child, I think she's gonna be scarred though, because I feel like she really wanted, that Bravo fame. She wanted some reality TV. That's different. Like to post something is one thing, but to actually get up and speak about it with some sense, she don't have that much sense in her head. I don't think so. All she can do is repost, because that's what she did.
Okay, because she didn't have that energy in person. She wasn't
did in
spouting none of
person,
those
and
beliefs
did
in
that.
person.
Exactly. So I feel like she's not that bright to take an opportunity like that and expand on it. She's just gonna go back to breaking Dewey's ribs and did now
taking pictures of black babies.
taking pictures of black babies, and then
which is
I'm
still
sure that
so
Dewey,
weird to me that she
Dewey
did
gonna
that.
say, you said what? My bad. Go ahead.
I said, which is still so weird that she did that, knowing what she done fucking posted on her Facebook page, but she's taking this picture with this black baby in Times Square.
That was weird. I don't know how
even
somebody
more
would just
weird.
let
Well,
them-
look, she was probably keeping that baby from protesting.
Oh.
Lord.
I don't know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. We talked about Mary, which is what I had a question.
TK,
Antonio, don't
please.
laugh at that. Don't laugh at that comment, Antonio. That's not right.
Oh, let me take it down. TKC, you'll get me in trouble. Okay, I'm not trying to be like Tasha K. So just as before we close out and let a few people join the call,
Okay.
what do y'all think is like at this point? How do you think Bravo is going to move going forward? Because this is like one of the biggest racially insensitive things that's happened in a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying? All the things that the girls have done, like it doesn't. So even Luann Ross does not equate to this, in my opinion. And so
I do think it's about the same as what Cameron and her family did to Tiffany and
It's absolutely
well, yes,
the
of
same.
course. And you know what? I think they didn't want to cancel that show. This show. I feel like they canceled Dallas, New York City, but Salt Lake City, believe it or not, is on the rise. They're on their second season and they have some good going. And so I think, like y'all said, they didn't want to film with her, but I feel like it was either going to be keep Jenny and lose viewers that they barely got already, or just get rid of her. So I think that was the best thing.
I think Bravo will continue this trend with things that are not left up to interpretation. Like Luann, we know how we all feel about her, but she always left stuff for us to try to decipher. We know the intent behind it. We're not fooled, but it's just not like in writing or just I think they're gonna have to do stuff. They'll do it when it's in writing or they have recordings of people saying something. But other than that, I don't think things will change. Other than that.
Okay. Well, if any of you need,
their background checks are probably going to get a little more stringent.
Yeah, I can see.
Hopefully,
absolutely.
And people are probably going to be smarter with their social media. Like, delete that. Delete that shit.
Start over.
I don't understand. Cancel culture is real. I feel like celebrity stars, singers, they are doing a terrible job now of going and scrubbing their social media. You know what I'm saying? This could have been prevented. She could still be on the show. We wouldn't even know how she felt about that. You know what I'm saying? I'd still be mad because she came in married. But what I'm saying is, like, we would never know. But like social media, like, screw up your fucking social media. Yeah.
Or cancel the account and start a new one from the time you became famous.
Right. Like, actually cancel it.
All your friends will find you. But
she got and I think Whitney did it. I think Whitney.
I agree, Cortez. Whitney did.
But you know what?
Whitney is the one that exposed that Facebook. It's very Whitney.
I don't even think that.
Go ahead, Chad.
I don't even think that scrubbing.
Come on, Chad, get it out.
I don't even think that scrubbing the social media is helpful these days, though.
Yeah, everybody can find anything on old deleted tweets.
It's acting up. I'm getting mad.
I know.
Chad's gonna have to pre-record.
I'll be mad too.
Can you hear me?
Chad, I'm getting mad.
I'm getting mad. I would be mad too. If my Wi-Fi was doing that. Let's all start a go. No, this plan. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let our caller in.
I'm upset.
Our homegirl, Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
I'm in the
How
Lunch day, yes.
Lunch Lean, how you doing?
Yes, how you doing? How y'all doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm gonna tell you this.
Hey,
This is how we
Lisa.
do feel about it. Hey there. This is how we do feel about thinking Jamie is right to me. I don't think she should have been fired. Well, I think you should have brought her to the show, open up a dialect about it, and hold her accountable on the show. Hold her accountable on the show, because just like Jamie said, it's a lot of people out there feel that exact way. If people in our family, and I ain't gonna sit here and say it's some black people now in our black community feel the same exact way.
Oh yeah.
Don't wish people stop. I wish our community stop acting like it's some people out there who don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Our black community they really do. And that's just like that's how I feel. I believe she should have came. She should have hold her accountable. The girl should have hold her accountable on the show.
But do you think that they wanted to film with her? I get the sense that So when you hold somebody accountable on the show, that's fine. But at the same time, think about them holding her accountable, and you have people that actually support her views watching the show. And so at this point now, these people that are holding her accountable can become a target from them. You know what I'm saying? That's my
Yeah.
fear. Like I feel like Jen, okay, she gonna be screaming at her, right? But she has no right. She about to club damn near go to jail. But then you got people attacking her that are bigoted. And so I feel
Yeah.
like it becomes a never ending thing, and it's not a safe space. I feel. But
Well,
like you say,
that's true. I mean, it's never safe space nowhere. It's never. I'm for real. It's never.
That's true.
It's never. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and I'm gonna show you this. For example, what I'm talking about. The woman had a bumper sticker on her car. You know what I'm saying? And the man had said something to the woman, and the woman said, please get out of my face." The man's wife said some. They had some words going back, and the man's wife ended up hitting the woman. You know what I'm saying? And so it's, that, like I said, it's out there. People gonna attack people from stupid reasons all the time.
But
You know what I'm saying?
Lisa, I think that because they kept all this came out while they were already filming the new season. I'm pretty sure they caught the ladies reacting to her, talking to her, and then
oh yeah,
we're gonna get a black screen with that same statement Bravo just released saying Jenny's no longer part
oh
of the
yeah.
show. But I'm pretty sure they caught it on camera already.
They're gonna
How
make
they
they're gonna
reacted
make
to
it
it.
pretty. They're gonna make it real pretty. They're gonna
No,
put
And
do
the
not
dramatic.
make it
They
pretty.
they had a
Do
week to
not.
pull that together,
they
so
I'm
yeah,
gonna
they
tell
had
you
a
definitely
something.
got
sketch.
it
It's gonna be
down.
a special.
Bravo,
It's gonna be a
bravo,
spin-off. Jenny's bigoted thoughts.
Bob, bravo, bravo. Do not make it pretty.
They're
Let
gonna
it go
do it.
through. I
They're
know,
gonna
but I'm
make some
just
money
saying,
off
if
of
they
it.
listen to your channel and anybody else channel, I'm saying, do not make it pretty. Show the reaction of the women as it comes in, like y'all did with Jen Shaw. When they found out Jen Shaw they said, "What? She been like that?" You see, everybody like stunned and stuff. Like, what the going on? Do not show it pretty. Show the reaction like you did, and like this cannot be real. You know what I'm saying? That's like I said, everybody out there don't have them views. And like everybody talking about with Kenya and Luann, like to me, I always say, I always think it's nothing with Luann had done. She wanna look like Diana Ross. She admired Diana Ross. I don't think that's racist. She thought Diana Ross was fabulous. She wanna be Diana Ross. Let her be Diana Ross, okay? Okay, so this like when the Williams want to be dyed and pot, and she had the big boobs already. She need nothing but the blonde hair. Okay, she did. She played down. She only played dyed and pot in 1 year for Halloween. Okay, I didn't never see nothing. I don't see nothing wrong with want to betray. Like they say, Kenya. I didn't see nothing wrong with Kenya run up in a Indian outfit. I didn't think that was racist. I mean, it's a Halloween outfit. If she had said something stupid behind a costume, then I then I say then I say, well, that's racist. You know what I'm saying? But when you admire somebody and from different culture, it's gonna be this how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I guess in my mind, when it be racist, when you have racist views and you your actions speak like you feel. Her actions on the show towards Mary was very, very vocal. You could not get no, and I had told Cortez this always. I believe she got a problem with Mary. I kept seeing. I said, ain't no way this woman like that, because she won't come to nobody else like that. Even when she can't make Jen, baby, she hold her opinion down.
Mhm.
She can't get that Jen. She didn't want that fire from Jen, because Jen would come across the table and slap her. You know what I'm saying? So, but now that's just my opinion of it on it.
Okay.
And like I said, I just read somebody just told her accountable on the show.
Yeah.
Because we cannot, the one thing I'm like, Jay, you cannot shy away from these comments. You
Yeah.
cannot hide. We can no longer hide. God is letting us know. That's why he got cameras everywhere. That's why he got cameras everywhere. That's why you got Aubrey murder on Aubrey getting murdered.
Yeah.
You know, and you see what went on with George Floyd and them. You can no longer hide no more. He's letting us know. You've been telling me I cannot see you. I'm telling you now, I can see you now. And that is what it is. I can
Okay.
see you, and I'm gonna bring you out, and I'm gonna tell you. I've been telling y'all, you had in sheep clothing, no more sheep clothing, no more wolf clothing. bring you out in the open.
Okay, Lisa. Well,
I
thank
love
you.
y'all.
We
Y'all
love you
have a
too.
wonderful lunch, okay?
Have a good
Thank you,
day. Thank you
Lisa.
for calling in. Okay. All right, and then our last caller for today is Dominique. Hey, Dominique.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? What's your thoughts on this chat?
Well, for some
Love you
reason,
too. All right, you too.
I'm not impressed.
Hmm.
I feel weird about it. It's like,
Hi, Dominique.
hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think Chad delayed.
Chad just a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
oh, okay. I just find it weird how it took them a week, and then well,
Yeah.
this is my theory. So I could be totally wrong, but this is my theory. I think that they waited a week. They waited a week, and they waited for last Sunday's episode to come on to see the ratings, and they saw it, and they was like, okay, yeah, not a lot of people tuned in. Let's go ahead and pull the plug on Jenny. But I also believe, which I got a problem with, but I understand this business. But I think that I don't think they really fired her. I think they both parted ways and they agreed to pay her. And I don't like that because she was posting some nasty stuff and I want her water cut off.
The water.
They
But
pay.
I
I
think
know they
Dominique, I
paid
thought
her.
they were paid like per episode that they're actually in.
See, because I was reading on Twitter, they said that she was renewed. Her contract for
Period.
season 3 was renewed.
Period.
So can they just break a contract like that? I think they paid her, and they said we're gonna say we fired you, but
Well, it
we paid.
depends if
I'm
they have
sure it's
some
a
kind of
clause in
morality
that contract.
clause
I know they have
or something
clauses
in
and
the
things like
contract.
that.
I'm dead, not the water, Chad. What the?
But Dominique said her water, she wanted to let her water cut off.
Because that was some nasty stuff she was reposting and stuff. It was wrong, but
Water cut off.
yes, I want her water cut off. Her and Dewey, they not good people.
No, they
Don't
got
seem
it.
like.
They need the water for the sister wife. They
Well,
need the water.
you right, but but you know what? I guess we just gotta take it. Look, they fired her. Good riddance. I'm curious. Are they gonna air this footage of her throwing that glass at Mary?
I hope they do.
I thought the same thing. I was wondering were they going to air that because I'm like, I know it's coming. We've seen the preview. If they don't, I will play it 1,000 times the day we recap it. I can't wait. I already said it. They better not play it. I'm gonna play it so much they're gonna think I'm Bravo.
But
They better play it.
That's all I want to say. I'm not impressed, but I mean, whatever. Good riddance, Jenny. She's not that important. I feel like y'all were mentioning like Ramona and Luann. They're very instrumental in the success to New York. So Jenny, she ain't shit. So bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jean. Well, bye, lady. I ain't say her name.
Well,
Bye, lady.
I heard Mary not coming back neither. So I mean, what's going on?
They scouting for new housewives from what
maybe
we've
they'll
seen.
call Angie. Call Angie ready, Chad. Angie, she ready, and then they can call me.
Angie is ready.
I'll be on that, Chad. I got a man.
I feel y'all. Okay, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Dominique.
Okay?
You too.
All right,
Bye.
All right. Let's see. All right. That TKC, you came in last minute. What's going on, TKC? I'm gonna let you in.
Not that profile picture.
Oh,
Y'all are nasty.
that better be Jenny. That better not be no random Vietnamese lady.
No, that's Jenny. Y'all crazy.
Well, how you doing, TKC? You came in with lovely spirits. What you got to say?
I'm doing good. I'm still in the bed, to be honest with you. And I was just so happy when I saw the news. But yeah, hold on. But yeah, I really think Bravo was really trying to Bravo really wanted it to blow over. Like, remember when Lisa came out and was like, oh yeah, we addressing it or whatever.
Yeah.
She really thought her little statement, "Watch What Happens Live," is gonna address everything and get us off her neck. But no, we stayed on her neck. And this is all I have to say to Jenny is, hold on one second.
Thank you for your services.
Okay. Come on,
Thank
TKC,
you.
coming with the stunts today.
Bye, Jenny.
Okay. Well, thank you, TKC, for coming up in here. Well, I'm sorry. Thank you. Actually, that really was Jenny. I think that really was Jenny because the profile gave No. Okay. Well, that's all we wanted to talk about. You know, this is a quick little lunchtime lean. You know, I wouldn't say expect these, but over time, I do want to get in the habit of kind of jumping on midday and talk about certain topics if they're hot topics. So be on the lookout. But thank y'all for watching. It's been a lovely conversation. Danny and Chase had to leave. So thank them too. Thank you, Chad, Antonio, and Jamie. And everybody in the chat, Brooke, Calvin, LJ Montgomery, Morgan, everybody's been active. Thank y'all for that. Be sure to like this video. So a lot of y'all in here. I don't know what the like
Thumbs
count
up.
is right now, but make sure that like count is up. Share the video, subscribe, and do all things to support. We'll see y'all Thursday if you watch Real Housewives of Miami. And y'all have a good rest of y'all lovely Tuesday it is. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye, guys.